Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast about the band named Haunt. And we got some big news this week. The full video of the band set from Fresno show is up on their YouTube channel. It is an hour and 4 minutes long of pure Haunt action. It is just amazing. And also, they introduced new sleeveless shirts in their store. I'm telling you, for a band whose next gig isn't until August, they are kicking it up this week. So we got a lot to get into. I'm being informed that's not what this podcast is about.
No. I was wondering what that notation meant. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You have a joke that you're holding on to for this?
I've been holding on to this for like 3 weeks, ever since I discovered there was a band named Haunt. I just keep forgetting to put it in. But yes, this is Haunt Weekly, a podcast about the haunted attraction, haunted entertainment industries. Whether an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. The Haunt's logo does look fucking cool, though. I just got to say that much.
Yeah, I just love how you slip right into your announcer voice.
Yes. You can find more of Haunt Weekly, the podcast about haunted attractions, not the band Haunt. I don't know if they have a podcast or not. I probably should have looked that one up. But you can find more about us at hauntweekly.com or Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. YouTube.com / I've almost fucked it up. YouTube.com / Haunt Weekly is our YouTube channel. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you find your podcasts. And we have got a very special episode for you this week. We're going to be talking about 7 things that we wish we knew when we started haunting.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of reflection going into this one. And it's been kind of a reflective week. And we'll get into what's been going on this weekend in just a minute. But we had a lot of time for reflection, the things we learned, the things we wish we did better initially. Mm-hmm. Some things we got right off the bat, but it's going to be an interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to this. But first thing is first, it's time to do conference reminders. It's an even-numbered episode. I kick it off, I believe. Well, on that note, coming up July 27th in Mount Carroll, Illinois at the Mount Carroll Bowling Center, it's the Haunter Horde Gathering. They'll be touring Raven's Grin Inn. We'll also have an auction for Scares That Care and Don't Be a Monster. There is free pizza with your $5 admission. They also have a cash bar, so pay for your booze, get free pizza. And the tour of Raven's Grin Inn is a $15 add-on, coincidentally, the price of a ticket to Raven's Grin Inn. Mm-hmm. You can learn more at haunterhorde.com. Seriously, if you're in the area and you're not planning on going to this, I can't help you.
Yeah.
That's really it. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up is July 27th. This is a brand new one to our list.
Brand new in terms of the site just went up.
Yes, thank you, Brian Foreman, for pointing this out. New England Haunt Show at Stratford, Connecticut. It's going to be at 411 Barnum Avenue Cutoff. Fright Haven.
It's the Fright Haven Haunt.
Okay.
It's actually at the Fright Haven Haunt. I couldn't find a way to designate it. The address is 411 Barnum Avenue Cutoff, and putting it in the notes, it's weird.
Yeah, we'll just say it's at Fright Haven Haunt, and you can probably
Google the fucking address on your own time.
Exactly. Features a tour of Fright Haven and other area haunts. Also has several classes. Tickets are just $20 until the 1st. Then they raise up to $25. Still, not a bad price. No.
It's a neat little quick one-day event. Got a bunch of neat classes, a trade show floor, and some cool-looking haunt tours.
Yeah. So NewEnglandHauntShow.com for more info.
Yeah, just checking out their site just a little bit ago. If I were in the area, I'd be very grateful right now because it is summer in New Orleans, and I think I prefer being in Connecticut at the moment. All right, after that. Also, July 27th, of this one running over to July 28th. Basically, that weekend, you've got 3 conferences you can go to in very different parts of the country.
Yeah.
You've got you've got Northern Illinois. I shouldn't say Chicago, it's 3 hours from Chicago. But you got Northern Illinois, you've got New England area, and now you've got the Texas Haunters Convention in Mesquite, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas at the Mesquite Convention Center. Features celebrity guests, a meet and greet, and a costume ball. They'll be touring the Dark Hour Haunted House for their Dog Days of Summer show and a backstage tour. My advice, go to their website, TexasHauntersConvention.com, and check out the schedule because they're doing multiple tours of Dark Hour and they have other after-hours events planned. So this way you can determine when the best time for you to go to the haunt is.
That sounds reasonable. All right. August 3rd through the 4th. Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California. Long Beach Convention Center. It features dozens of on-site haunted attractions and experiences, Hall of Shadows Dark Zone, as well as a Screaming Room Film Festival, a fashion show, and live theatrical performances. midsummerscream.org for more info.
All right, then August 6th to the 8th in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Room Escape Conference and Tour at the Music City Center. Tours include Extreme Escape Games, San Antonio Panic Room, Premier Escape Rooms, Extreme Escape, Perplexium, the Escape Game, Lockout Austin, and 15 Locks. Now bear in mind, you will only be able to go to 4 of those as there are 2 tours of 2 rooms each night. So you're going to miss out on 2. If you got a buddy, I guess split up. I don't know. Figure it out. Work that out yourself. I'm not your guide. RoomEscapeShow.com for more information.
Okay, August 23rd through the 25th, it's CreepyCon Halloween and Horror Convention in Knoxville, Tennessee at Jacobs Building. It features workshops, exhibitors, and a zombie beauty contest. CreepyConKnoxville.com for more info.
All right, after that, September 6th through 8th in Indianapolis, Indiana, it's Mask Fest / Horror Hound Film Fest at the Indiana Convention Center. Features all type of mask makers and makeup artists, including demos, try-ons, and various other things. Maskfest.com for more details. Be careful, it's getting close to season at that point. You don't want to get sick.
Yep. And finally for this week, September 12th through the 15th, it's the Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky at the Lexington Center. It's going to feature Bruce Campbell, Lori Petty, Kane Hooper, Ted Ramey, and more. TheScarefest.com for more info.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for right now.
Yep.
Now, this may be going up a bit late. I think it's going to go up about on time, but we're recording late. And the reason is because, as we mentioned last week, we've been putting a new roof on our queue area.
Yes.
Now, the roof is done.
If you've been following us on Facebook, you know
this already, yeah.
And you've seen the pictures.
You've seen the pictures of it already. We put a roof on the queue area. It looks great. It works great. It got 2 trial runs today.
Yeah.
Because it's New Orleans. It rains every day, at least once, sometimes twice.
Yep.
But yes, this is one of the more complicated jobs we've ever had to do.
Yeah.
And it required a lot of strenuous work, we'll say, and some creative ladder placement at various points to get this done.
Yeah.
Trying to adapt an existing structure with a new roof is a mess.
Well, and working around a giant thing that's in the middle of it.
Yeah, the giant hot tub.
Yes.
That we're going to have to drain and move for haunt season when the time comes.
Well, yeah, but that'll be later.
That's one of my haunt tips, is find ways to repurpose your haunt stuff in the off-season. A queue line can become an excellent enclosure for a hot tub.
It can.
It actually works really well for that. But yeah, just got to take out some of the middle cattle gates and boom, you're in business. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's one of those jobs, and it's one of those things about haunting that just kind of sucks because it's not spooky or scary. It's not even really super creative. It's just hard, laborious work.
I don't know. People watching us on the ladders might have thought we were doing some creative ladder work.
Yeah, we definitely were doing some very creative ladder work. My core is still killing me from pulling myself up that structure so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that had to be done. It's working great. I'm very happy with it. It took some wind today. It took a lot of rain today. Seems to be doing better than our projects usually do.
Yeah.
So not perfect, just better.
Yeah. Good enough.
Good enough. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. But basically, we finished that right after what would have been normally dinner time yesterday. Mm-hmm. And we'd been out there since like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Doing it. Yep. We were wiped. I didn't have time to do show notes and Crystal, and we didn't have time to record. So our usual record time of Sunday evening was kind of blown out of the water.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're recording on Monday, and I'm hoping this gets edited and put up on time, but if it's late, now you know why. Okay. So anyways, here's the deal. Haunting is a learning process. Nobody gets it right the first time.
No.
I've never known anyone who has, like, their first season right out of the gate, everything was perfect. Mm-mm. Even if they had all the help, even if they hired all the consultants and da-da-da-da-da, it never is perfect right out of the gate.
There are always surprises around the corner.
There's always something. There's always a learning curve. So basically, my advice to every haunter before we even begin this is, listen to podcasts like this one. Go to Facebook groups like Haunters Hangout. Mm-hmm. Go anywhere you can. Haunters are talking and gathering. Learn all you can, but still expect to make your own fresh mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to find your own unique kind of fresh hell. It's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just accept that.
And you would also want to get involved in those communities because the haunt community at large is a very helpful place. We like to help each other figure out solutions to problems that,
Well, we like bringing our creative juices to bear wherever we can, I think is one of the things. And if we can't do it in our haunt for one reason or another, we'll like to help others.
Right.
And so we're going to go through, the theme of this episode is 7 things we wish we knew when we started haunting.
Yep.
And this came up various conversations while putting on the roof, after putting on the roof. Basically, we've been having a lot of time to talk about haunting in between the grunts and groans and strains of trying to get the roof finished.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare to take apart.
And some of this is seemingly very basic stuff that we did not get in 2005.
Right.
And so this is, right now, this is our being fair to ourselves moment.
Yeah.
We started haunting on an impulse.
Yeah, we did.
We literally had, no planning time.
Oh, no.
And getting involved in haunting. It was 2005. It was right after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. Our house was fine. Yeah. Damage was moderate at worst. And not much was opening or going on in terms of haunted attractions and Halloween. So we're like, hey, we've got a little extra money because we've been doing all this extra work after Katrina. We've got the time. We've got some resources. Maybe we can do something. Yeah. And so that was literally it.
Yep. Yeah.
That conversation pretty much simulates how we decided to get into haunting that first year.
Yes. Our first year, we decided at the end of August that we were going to do something in October.
Because no one else was.
Yeah.
So yeah. We decided we decided in September.
Yeah, it was in September, actually.
End of September.
Yeah.
I think it might have been even early October. We decided we were going to do something on Halloween.
Yeah. And this was in a city that was recovering, so none of the stores had their Halloween shipments that we had to go out of town. Yeah. Basically make weekend trips over 4 hours.
At least, if not to your parents.
Yeah.
But one of the other frustrations we had that first season was, and maybe we'll do a whole episode about that first season. I think it could be kind of interesting.
It could be.
Because it was a very unique season. Of course, we've not had one like that before. Of course, we couldn't have one before, dumbass. Because it was our first season. We didn't have a season like our first season before then.
We haven't had one since either.
Apparently, I'm heat strokey still.
Yeah.
Anyways. But yeah. We couldn't get our hands on plywood and 2x4s, even if we wanted and knew we should.
Right.
It was not available. You could not find it. No home improvement store had it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you think it's hard to find good lumber now at Home Depot? Yeah. Try it in September, October 2005, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. We built that season with 2x2s and visqueen, basically, in plastic.
1x2s, right? Yeah. Wasn't it?
I thought it was
it was 2x2s.
It was 2x2s.
Yeah, you're right.
2x2s.
Yeah, it was little squares. So.
But it was a mess. Anyways, so we had zero prep. We had no time to jump in and do investigation. Right. We just sort of went in full foot. And so, yeah, we didn't know a lot right off the bat. And those first few years especially were kind of rough. There were some very hard lessons we learned, and that's what this is about.
Yes.
So, lesson 1. Mm-hmm. How to build a proper panel.
Yeah.
Now, this is true. We actually talked about panel-based construction way back in episode 3.
Yeah.
It was one of the very first topics we approached.
Because it's one of the things that we think people should know when they're starting to build a haunt.
Yeah, those very first episodes of Haunt Weekly, we were kind of covering a lot of fundamentals.
Yeah.
Kind of laying groundwork stuff. And those were very much targeted at people who had not opened a haunt yet.
Yeah.
And so if you're in this position where this type of episode is super useful to you, you might want to check out, I would say 2 through 6 or 2 through 10 or so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different posts in there that might be of great use to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of great episodes. As great as Haunt Weekly gets.
as great
It's
as
still us.
we were still starting out too.
Yeah, that's true. We
didn't have the banter down.
Oh, we still don't have the banter down. Oh no. But no, basically, we talked about it all the way back then. And now here's the thing. I know there is no quote-unquote right way to build a panel. Mm-hmm. Every haunted attraction I've ever been to, worked behind the scenes of, builds a panel in a slightly different way.
Yep.
It's like a haunter's fingerprint.
Yeah.
How you make your panel.
Yep. Exactly.
It's very interesting, and you can get into some really fun debates about what's best because there's a lot of different styles and ways to do it. Each have their own advantages and drawbacks. For reasons we're going to get into in a minute, we tend to favor very structural panels, even though they're heavier.
Yeah.
Because they A, last.
Yep.
And B, basically we know how to build them very, very quickly and easily. Yeah. But yeah, there's no correct way. If you build it different than us, it's because of course you do. Everyone does it different.
Yeah.
However, our first panels, like I said previously, were the 2x2s and plastic, which is all we had access to in 2005. So I don't really beat myself up over that.
Right.
Nothing from that season survived.
No.
It's lucky it survived the fucking night.
Some of it didn't.
But our first panels in the later years, when we actually were building panels, were made using masonite and nails.
Yeah.
Now, nails are fine if you have a nail gun and no intention of ever taking it apart.
Yeah.
But if all you have is a hammer and a need to swap faces, you're going to piss yourself off in a hurry.
Yeah, you will. And, hammers are cheap, and so were nails.
Yes. But, we could have probably, and looking back on that year, we could have easily have bought even just like a cheap drill and a box of drywall screws.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. But anyways, nails are fine if that's your intent, but that did not fit with what we were doing.
Right.
Or ever going to be doing.
No.
We're big believers in the ability to change the skins on panels.
Right.
And because it enables us to basically change an entire scene without changing the framing behind it.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's really helpful to us because we're a two-person team, and anything we do that involves rearranging full panels is a bitch because we build very heavy structural panels.
Yeah.
And those first panels did not last.
No.
Holes were kicked and punched through it. One by me.
At least.
I think I only did one. But yeah, holes were put through these. The masonite that we used was so thin it would warp with time.
Yeah, and the reason we used masonite was because it was something I was used to using to paint on from art school. And
that's the thing is, masonite, if properly treated and prepped, will hold up the rigors of being vertical.
Yes, being vertical on a wall in a climate-controlled building.
But in a non-climate controlled garage where people are crashing into it at often high rates of speed, less so.
Exactly.
I think we actually had one group go whole hog through a wall once. Or no, they put a nasty... They patched in and they go all the way through.
Yeah.
But they did put like a person-sized hole or a divot in it once.
Yeah.
Divot's better because they didn't quite make it all the way through, like I said.
Yeah.
Those do not survive any real test. The first panels did not last. I don't think we have any panels that are older than 10 years or so.
No.
In there right now. Just because anything that was made pre-2008 or so didn't last.
No. And whenever we got ready to change them out, because they were nailed on, they basically just had to be torn off.
Yeah, we basically had to get a crowbar and rip them apart. And that really fucks up the frame, too, because now you've got this jagged, skanky-looking frame on the backside that you just ripped a bunch of nails out of. It's not good.
Yeah.
So, we learned our lessons. Screws, combined with, actual OSB. Well, it was interesting there. We had sort of another evolution.
Right.
We started with OSB.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper.
Yep.
Now, it was definitely better than masonite. No one's ever going to come to me and say that OSB is inferior to masonite. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But OSB is definitely inferior to plywood.
Yeah.
And we now use only plywood panels because we realize the time and extra paint we spend trying to paint OSB,
yeah,
it kills us. And OSB flakes.
It does.
Especially when not in a climate controlled place.
Yeah, and, and by flaking you mean making splinters for people to find.
Yes, that too. And also taking off your nice paint job as you didn't do it.
No, that's just distressing. But there are a few of those still left that we're still working on changing out.
And those are being changed out little bit by little bit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really wish in hindsight we had started with the panel we have now. It's a 2x4 frame.
Yep.
We like working with 2x4s. We know the 2x4 very well.
Yep.
2x4 frame, it enables it to be mostly freestanding. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying you should leave it there a long period of time.
No.
But if you need to hold it up for a second while you screw it into its neighboring panel or something, it can hang out.
Yeah.
And won't kill anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the thing. Basically, this is also kind of a don't cheap out on your materials.
Right.
For one, it's kind of a split one. And the other thing we learned along was that use ground contact lumber for anything out of doors.
Yeah.
Anything that's going to be exposed to the elements. Do not use it for anything in a climate-controlled environment because it creates its own set of problems. You have to make sure you have galvanized stuff in contact with it. You can't have just stainless steel.
Right.
You got to be real careful what you put next to it. But if it's going to be outside, pressure-treated, ground contact lumber only.
Yes. And the other problem with having it inside is that it actually violates fire codes in a lot of places.
Because it creates fumes.
Because of the fumes whenever it burns.
Yep.
The fumes from that
That's
will
a good
kill
point.
you.
That's an excellent point. I'd forgotten about that, but you're right.
Yeah.
I knew there was a very valid reason other than you can't, you have to be very careful what you put next to it.
Right.
Ground contact is great for anything that will be outside and under the stars and get weather on it. Like our Q line is 100% ground contact lumber.
Yeah. And,
except now it has corrugated PVC on the top.
Yes, it does. But no, whenever we've started, and right now we're getting ready to change out the L pieces.
The outside, pieces.
Because they were originally built to be put up and come down basically Halloween weekend. Yeah. And they did for years.
Yeah, we did.
But the last couple of years we've left them out, and now it's time to make the switch.
The wood is not in good condition.
No.
It lasted longer than it should have, if we're being honest with one another. The area's got pretty good drainage, so it's not standing in water a lot. But, yeah, it's got to go, and we're going to have to completely rebuild that. But, that it's an opportunity to do it right this time.
Exactly.
And I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to doing a fucking roof on it. I'm tired of fucking roofs.
I understand, but we're going to make it the right way with a lean-to.
Anyway, so item 1 was how to make panels / don't cheap out on your materials. You end up spending more on materials if you cheap out.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
Because you're not going to be able to reuse them.
Yeah, a good panel made with the right materials will last you functionally forever.
Yeah.
A panel made with shit materials might make it 2 seasons.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Basically.
All right. Since you're not cheaping out on the materials, we wish we had known to not cheap out on our tools either.
Yeah.
Okay, we are casual, outside of haunting, we're like casual builders and handy people.
Yeah.
We like playing around with carpentry stuff from time to time, but we're by no means prosumers.
No.
And as home haunters, our tools really only get the real workout a few months out of the year.
Yeah.
Basically from now until the end of October is tool season. Mm-hmm. I expect to have batteries on chargers and everything for the next 3 months pretty much consistently.
Yeah.
And then everything else is like occasional things around the house or whatever that need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
We felt when we first started that it was insanely wasteful to buy pro-grade tools or near pro-grade tools.
Yeah, and part of that was that it was cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it was.
Especially for us in our young years before we were, know.
But honestly, looking back on it, that was a huge mistake. We should have bit the bullet. As the saying goes, buy once, cry once.
Yeah.
It's a very good expression, and I like it.
Yeah.
Harbor Freight tools are a huge gamble, especially the low tiers. I originally wrote this. It was, Harbor Freight's crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I remembered, wait, that chop saw that just literally built like 95% of the fucking roof was a Harbor Freight tool, and it's lasted over 10 years, and it's still cutting pressure-treated lumber and everything else just fine.
Yeah.
So I can't say like universally they're crap, but like 8 out of the 10 tools we bought there have been.
Yeah, that had moving parts.
Hand tools and so forth are fine. We buy their bits fairly regularly, except they don't have Torx bits.
Not last time we looked. They do have the big boxes of Phillips head, though.
Yeah.
But we've switched to Torx in the past 2 years.
Yeah, that's another construction item. We should go back. This also goes under one.
Yeah.
We moved the Torx bits with washers on whenever we're doing into wood.
Yep.
The washer prevents countersinking.
Yeah.
And the Torx bit, it's just so much goddamned easier.
Well, it's not only that, but it's also harder to strip it.
Yeah.
So, it's easier to take them out whenever you get ready to change out your
I find
your
Torx
faces.
bits don't last as long as the Phillips head bits.
Uh-huh.
But the Torx screws come in and out easier. And I'd rather sacrifice bits than have screws stuck in everything.
Exactly.
Because I can buy more bits.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be spending more money on reciprocating saw blades because we're trying to get through all these goddamn screws.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harbor Freight tools are a huge gamble. We have thrown away so much money on Harbor Freight tools. And we got started, our first drill set, our first tool set in general, was Craftsman C3.
Yeah, that we bought for ourselves.
We bought for ourselves. It was the first thing we bought for ourselves, I think even before Katrina.
No,
it's just after. It was just after.
No, it was after we were in the new house.
We bought Craftsman because we both grew up with Craftsman being a great brand.
Right.
We're old fuckers. We've been over this.
Yeah.
I remember when Craftsman meant something. Mm-hmm. We did not realize how shitty Craftsman had gotten.
Yeah.
Both in terms of the quality of the tools and in terms of the ability to get the stuff you needed for the tools.
Yeah.
Need another battery and charger for it? Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
We are now a Makita family.
Yep.
And honestly, when it came down to it, we kind of went back and forth between Makita, DeWalt, and Ryobi.
Yes.
I actually like all three brands.
Yeah, they're all three great.
They're all three great.
Yeah.
Ryobi, I liked the tool selection, especially like Home Depot. They have
that's actually our concrete.
We have several Ryobi plug-in tools.
Yeah.
But as far as like the battery kit, we went with Makita. But it was like really funny because like Ryobi, go to Home Depot, it's got like, the Ryobi engine starter, the Ryobi battery vibrator, the Ryobi. It's got everything you could think of that can power with a 18-volt battery.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. And meanwhile, Makita, of course, has a much more limited selection unless you buy on Amazon.
Yeah.
But it's a great tool. And the reason we went with Makita, honestly, was we did Black Friday.
Yep.
2 years ago now.
Yes.
We did Black Friday, and they just simply had the best deal.
Yep, exactly.
That was it.
Nope.
So no shade being thrown at DeWalt or Ryobi or anyone else. It's just that's why it's Makita, and it's served us incredibly well. In fact, we just bought a second impact driver.
Yeah.
Brushless. Ooh.
Yes. Yeah, we did do some research into how often the companies change their battery type, and Makita was one of the ones that kept a consistent
Makita and Ryobi
battery.
both have kept the same battery for pretty much ever.
Yeah, because it got really hard to find the Craftsman ones.
Yeah, I remember like with the Craftsman, we were trying to find the C3 edge trimmer or something, and it was impossible.
It was.
Impossible. Yeah. Anyways, number 3, we got to move forward. We're halfway through this episode, and we are not halfway through these topics.
No, we're not.
All right, how scared people would get.
Yeah.
We saw videos online of people totally losing it in haunted houses, and we thought, okay, this is a highlight reel. This is a minority.
Right.
In our case, that wasn't true.
No.
We built the first few years. I mean, okay, like I said, 2005, that's a special case. But even after that, even when we got the permanent location.
Oh, yeah.
It was problematic because we built assuming that people were going to act like civilized adults and not crash into these walls.
Like we do when we go through haunts.
Ooh, that's pretty. We were expecting people to go through like us. No.
No.
Combine that with the fact we had masonite walls for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Those first few years, those walls took a lot of punishment, and they did not last.
No.
We've gotten much, much better about bracing and cross bracing. We've learned our lessons, and basically every place we think there might be an impact zone is tested, usually by me.
Yeah, you were the make sure it doesn't move person.
Yeah, I basically get as far back as I can and run into it with a hole in my weight and see what happens.
Yeah.
Luckily, I bounce still.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, because usually we'll construct the general room together,
Yeah.
and then I'll decorate it, and then send you in to figure out.
I came in like a wrecking ball, literally.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
This one's off the rails, folks. You might want to turn it off now.
it's too late.
Too late. You're in for a penny, in for a pound.
People will react in
unpredictable and insane ways,
Yes.
and we were not ready for that the first few years. Luckily, we didn't do a very space-conscious build the first few times, so they had some room that they could collapse and fall into without damaging our stuff.
Yeah.
But later years, as we got tighter with the layout, we kept finding like groups of 4 adults just crashing into things.
Yeah.
And like one year, we actually had the entire like structure of the haunt move.
Yeah.
Like 6 inches or so, a few inches.
Yeah, it wasn't 6.
It wasn't 6, but a couple of inches, because a whole family of
Yes.
like full grown-ass adults
Yes.
crashed into it, and they moved it.
Yes.
So we had to start thinking about more concrete taps, more cross bracing. You know, we really had to think about these things. That was a very difficult lesson to learn, was that, people are really going to hit the stuff. And when I go through haunts and I see panels that are very weak, I wonder what they're thinking aloud.
Well, yeah, because basically if I see that you're building your panels weakly, like with plastic or substandard wood and things, it's just, you're not really scaring people is what goes through my mind.
You're at least not scaring them into that wall, I hope.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be recreating some Price is Right games with people busting through the other side. Oh, man. Okay, item 4. How to properly staff. My God, we fucked this one up so many years.
Yeah.
You see, one of the things we went into this with was we are a small haunt. We're about 600 square feet or so. We never really need more than about a dozen people.
No.
Ever. I think the largest we've ever been is a dozen.
Yeah.
We kind of thought that no-shows would not be a problem. We were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I understand if you've got a 50 or 100 or 200 person haunt, that a certain percentage, probably like 15-20%, ain't gonna show.
Exactly.
But when you've got 12 people that you know where they live, you know who they are.
You're friends with them outside of this.
You think no-shows aren't going to be a big deal. No, they still are.
Yeah.
The number that you need to worry about no-shows is not very high.
No.
We've got a great haunt family, and it's very dependable overall, but things still do happen.
Yeah.
We've had people that we thought were dependable bail on us on Halloween night. Yeah. The bastards.
Yeah.
And there have been multiple years in which we were scrounging for actors because we thought we had every position staffed. Yeah. But we didn't. Yeah. Someone didn't show. Someone's car broke down.
Exactly.
Something happened. Suddenly now we're down 2 or 3 people and we don't have enough to open.
Right. And early on, we made the mistake of kids that were excited, older teenagers that were excited and in line early. They're like, how do we get involved with this? Well,
get back there.
Here you go. Here's your spot for the night.
We have not had to do that in over a decade.
No. I said early on.
I know. Luckily, that has not happened over a decade. Yeah, we had real issues with that. Yeah. And one of the ways we resolved it was we started building these boo holes and roles in which we can stick human beings, and they will add something to the haunt. Don't get me wrong. Right. It's an extra scare, it's an extra startle, but it's not essential to the room. The room will function fine and feel full without them. Yeah. And basically, we book every position we need, and then we fill all the boo holes. Right. And then if people don't show or we have issues, we pull people out of boo holes and put them in more public-facing roles.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that way, those overflow actors have something to do. They're getting scares. They're getting their pops. Yeah. But they're still they're understudy for other roles.
Yeah, which is definitely the way to go, because when we first started, we had problems finding people who wanted to do it. So we would build it to where one actor would operate 3 scares.
Yeah, 2 rapid fire in one case.
Yeah. So, 2 to 3 scares per actor, and then you lose an actor, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it.
Yeah, right now, based upon my rough math, we can operate anywhere between 4 to 10 actors inside the haunt.
Yeah.
That's finding space and scares and things for all of them to do.
Yep.
We can open and have every room filled with 4.
Yeah.
It'll be tight, but it can be done.
Yeah, I'd prefer more.
I would prefer 5 or 6. I think.
Yeah. I think 6 is a good show, but not the best show.
Yeah.
I think 8's probably the best show. I think 10's superfluous.
And not counting Trick or Treat Zone, we need 2 to 5 outside.
Yeah.
We need at least one person doing the let in, that's me, and one person doing crowd control on the flip side, that's Chris. On the front side, that's Chris.
Yeah. Preferably if we have another person to help on Halloween night.
They play a functioning adult.
Well, play functioning adult, but also with line control.
Yeah.
Because last year it got really crazy and the line got down around the block. And,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, all in all, we have a lot more flexibility now. We can operate on as little as like 7 people.
Yeah.
And we can accommodate up to 15.
Yeah.
That's a much easier target to hit than saying we need exactly 8 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, because that's how we started, was
we need exactly 8 people to make this work.
Either we need exactly this many people or we have exactly this many people. How are we going to make it work with that many people?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You've got to build that flexibility in.
Exactly.
And we did. And now it works much better.
Yes.
Okay, item 5. How to build a proper haunt family. Mm-hmm. Once again, we have a great crew now. We're doing really good. But yeah, early years, it was not very dependable.
No.
People would drop in and drop out.
Yeah.
People would come for one night and never return, even though they said they would. It was frustrating.
Yeah.
The lesson was you have to find people who really want to be there. And I think this is true whether you're a paid haunt or a volunteer haunt.
Yeah.
Because if you're a paid haunt, you're never going to be able to pay people enough to make it their real job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not if they're just the seasonal actor.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
Yeah, no, you can have, full-time real jobs at paid haunts.
Yeah.
Because there are builders and things who
yeah. We're just talking about the actors right now, though. The main frontline actors.
Okay.
And we're not talking about the builders, owners, creators, developers that work full-time at haunts.
Yeah.
And other people that work for haunts full-time. No, that's not it. We're talking about just seasonal actors. You're right. Sorry, good point. You're never going to be able to pay them, though, enough so that this is their job.
Yeah.
Especially that, even like in that time of year, you're not going to be able to get enough hours. You're not going to pay enough per hour.
Right.
They're always going to have better money-making opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. So they have to really want to be there.
Right.
And you have to make them want to be there in order for that to happen. And some of it was time. You're always going to get people that think they're really excited about it.
Yeah.
But then they do it and they realize it's hot, it's uncomfortable, not every scare works. Mm-hmm. Nobody bats at you know what I mean? And then they get a little frustrated and wah, they're gone.
Yeah. Well, and first-time actors are also sometimes problematic because they think that they're the shit. And sometimes, every once in a while, you'll meet someone who needs very little training, but
looking at John B. last year.
Yeah. Lots of times, they need a little more coaching than they think they need. Yeah. Which can be problematic.
Exactly. So what we've started doing and are getting better about, we're still not really where I want to be on this.
Right.
But we're getting better at doing events throughout the year.
Yeah.
Having summer things, having after Thanksgiving things. We had a Thanksgiving thing with our haunter buddies. Right. We had a movie party a while back. Doing things like that with the crew, get them out, get them together, and do things like that's important. And I think it's especially important if you can to do something after the haunt closes.
Yeah.
Even if that thing is, hey, we're going to IHOP.
Yeah.
Or, hey, everyone's of age, we're going to a bar.
Yeah.
And we're going to sit around and we're going to swap stories.
Yeah.
That bonding time is really valuable.
It is.
Previously, it was, we close. Okay, everybody get the fuck off my property and get out of here. We're not quite like that, but you know what I mean.
I mean, the first years, we would take everybody to late night dinner at IHOP because that was the only place that was 24 hour close by. But then people got less and less interested, and The food at the house got more portable so you could eat throughout the night, so it became less of a need.
Yeah. People were less starving.
Yes.
But no, we had that thing though where for a brief period of time it was like, we're done, go home. And then we're like, no, we need to go do something together. And then it was go get dinner with everyone.
Yeah. And
that kind of worked well. But like you said, it became less of a need. So now the thing is, okay, everyone of age, we're going to meet at this bar.
Yeah, and we only have one person who's not of age.
Yeah.
And
they won't be much longer.
Yeah, she's growing up with us, which is fun to watch.
Which is fun and scary because she's damn near an adult now, and it frightens me.
Yeah, well, our last one that grew up with us wound up going to work for a major local haunt and get paid for it.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either.
I'm not mad about that.
And I have a feeling that that's going to happen with
this one. Yeah, maybe we'll see. We will see. But yeah, basically, not everyone just automatically loves haunting.
No.
So you have to give people a reason to want to come back. And that connection is a big part of the reason. And also helps to give them a personal investment. Let them help you build. Let them help contribute ideas.
Yeah.
Give them a personal investment in the haunt. They're more likely to come back. Our problem with no-shows has dropped incredibly over the years.
Yes.
And combine that with our staffing, our flexible staffing approach, I don't think we've really struggled to fill the haunt, any year in like the past 7 years or so.
Yeah, I think this year might be, a little bit. We need to do some recruiting.
Yeah, but that's part of that's because we've had people move out and so forth. We've had a few people,
and they've changed jobs, and their jobs no longer work with our schedule. And
and that's the thing is when we do lose people now, and that's one of the big differences. We used to lose people because they just didn't care or didn't want to.
Right.
Now we lose people because they changed jobs, they moved away, life.
Yep.
There's a big difference between those two things.
There is.
All right, number 6. Just how horrible people can be sometimes.
Yeah.
This is a depressing one. I mean, here's the thing. We're not like some naive young babes.
No.
People steal, people lie, people cheat. We get it. We lock our fucking doors. We lock our cars,
Yeah.
We're not these ultra trusting, naive people. We never were.
No.
But having a baby reach in to steal money from a donation box?
Yeah. That was pretty shitty.
Stealing candy, about $100 worth of candy from a free haunted house?
Yeah.
Intentionally destroying a free haunted house?
Mm-hmm.
So others can't enjoy it and then doing it on Halloween night?
Yeah.
Yeah, these things go up beyond the pale of what I expect from people can be crappy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
It's like, I know people are shit, but that's a different level of it than I'm used to personally.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And going in and planning on hitting an actor.
Yeah.
Like talking about it on the first room that they're going to swing at an actor.
Yeah.
And then swinging at the biggest motherfucker we had in the haunt.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad he didn't take the swing at me, because
you would have dropped him.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he didn't. I'm glad that he took his swing early after me, but before he got to our younger staff and smaller staff.
Yeah, because he wasn't going to hurt you or John B.
No. There's a reason we put,
the big muscly guy in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, those are all things that have happened to us.
Yeah.
And it's there's been a little, even though I'm still very grateful for the experience. There's been a little bit of, man, we really underestimated how crappy people can be.
Yeah.
We have to lower our expectations of humanity a bit here.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really frustrating. And here's the thing, this has been us making a lot of small changes.
Right.
We've redesigned the donation box. Good luck sticking your baby's hand in it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with that now. Better front of house security. Stronger props that can't be torn down no matter what you do. If you want to do the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball on our dummies, you're free to try. They're not coming down.
Yeah.
Those
dedicated candy watchers,
things like that.
Yeah.
We've worked on this, and incrementally we've said, okay, we just can't trust people. to do the right thing. Like in another one, we talked about this last year. We had a huge problem of people traipsing through our display.
Yeah.
And that's not so much people being horrible as people being just stupid.
Yeah, no, that was a lesson learned, was to build in the
photo op area.
The photo op area. That's
it
something
worked.
I wish we had thought of earlier.
That was something I wish we knew. We should have built a photo op area, you know? It's that's not so much people being horrible as it is just being stupid. But then again, we also didn't realize just how stupid people can be either sometimes.
Or how much they wanted to just really get their photo with our
Yeah,
skeletons.
I really underestimate the power of Snapchat. It's one thing I've learned.
Or Instagram.
Or whatever the hell it is. Insta-Snap, whatever the cool kids are on these days.
On the social.
On the social.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have had much, much, much fewer problems in later years because of this. We had to throw one person out and trespass one person.
Yeah.
And we did a whole episode about that incident.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't have...
Because that was another learning experience, was make sure that the security plan is known by everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
involved.
did not anticipate that exact problem. We anticipated people swinging on actors because we'd had it happen before. We did not have someone creeping on our young female actors problem. That had not happened before.
Yeah.
So we're constantly having to lower our expectations of humanity.
Yeah, and make sure that everybody knows what.
Yeah, and respond accordingly.
Yeah.
Now, number 7 is the flip side, though. Because I had to I can't end on that note.
No.
That's just horrible of me. But just how amazing people can be, too.
Yeah.
We see humanity at its worst.
Right.
And we also see it at its beyond best.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what it is. We see the extremes. Yeah, we've had our assholes, but, you know, some great things have happened. Like, I did not realize, and I wish I had known going in, that if we did this long enough, we'd have a moment where I'm standing out there greeting people, and I'm talking to a mother who is taking her 5-year-old child in for the first time, finally old enough to go through the less scary version of it, obviously.
Right, yeah.
But finally old enough, and it's like, yeah, I used to come here when you guys first opened.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
How long is it until we have, like, multi-generational, like, grandkids?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We're not that far off. It could happen soon.
It could. I mean, and
we're in 16.
And that's something that whenever we started, we never anticipated.
Even considered.
No.
I was totally unprepared for that.
Yeah.
Some local artist gave us one-of-a-kind artwork.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing with it yet, so I'm figuring that part out.
Maybe I'll bring one of them. He actually
There's
gave
two
us
of them,
two.
yeah.
So.
There's two of okay. They are one of a kind in that there are only 2 of them, I should say.
Yeah.
We had that happen. We have gotten tons of great news coverage. We've gotten feedback from the community. The community has offered so much to us in terms of just coming out and helping.
Yeah.
And providing resources. The generosity has been amazing.
Yeah.
I did not expect any of that.
No.
We did this because we're weird people and we love haunting and we wanted to do this.
Exactly.
We never expected the community to love us for it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, why do you haunt? Because we like scaring people. We like building scary things.
Yes.
And this is just a socially acceptable way for us to do it.
Exactly. It's a very creative outlet for me.
Yeah. The alternatives were far worse socially, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
We did not expect the love and the feedback that we've gotten. I did not expect that we would have legends going around about our haunt.
No.
You know, people are awesome too. They are assholes. There are people who have done horrible things, but people have been overwhelmingly awesome to us, and I was not braced for that. I get choked up every year at least once.
Yeah.
Talking to someone.
Yeah.
And I did not ever imagine that would happen when we started this.
No.
I did not expect I would get emotional. I did not expect that people would care this much about what we do.
Yeah.
And that any inkling that we might not be open next year is met with...
Yeah.
Don't even mention the idea of a year off.
Yeah.
Because, like, well, are you doing this again next year? And that's some time ago. We were discussing taking a year off.
Yeah.
Well, we might be taking a year off, and it was just the shock and horror.
Yeah.
Crept across their face, like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You're an institution.
Yeah, basically.
Whew.
I mean, at this point, I think we are.
I think we are. And it's just been amazing, the generosity we've seen, the help we've gotten.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because we do things like this roof project.
Yeah.
And we tell people about it at the bar.
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah, we were building a roof for the queue line. Why didn't you ask me to help?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
You know?
We just met you.
We literally just met you 5 minutes ago. Couldn't have asked you for help. Also, why would we ask you for help? I mean, are you a roofer or are you a...
Yeah.
What's your skill set?
Exactly. That and the...
We get that all the time, though, things like that.
Yeah, that and the other response is, you're already working on that?
Oh, God, that's the most common.
Yes.
You're already working on that? I'm like, well, actually, we've been working on it for weeks before
Right.
in terms of design.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been working on it for a long time.
And since we have a couple of minutes left, I want to throw in an 8th bonus one. I'm not going to put this one in the show notes. This is the bonus hidden track.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Alanis Morissette CD. You get a hidden track at the end if you listen all the way through. Wow, that's
Wait, there was a hidden track there?
That's an outdated reference as hell.
Yes.
But this is one you'd mentioned to me on the walk and I forgot to include. Mm-hmm. The importance of CAD.
Yeah.
This is hilarious that I didn't know this because before I was ever a haunter, I sold CAD software.
Yeah.
I literally sold AutoCAD licenses.
Yep.
I have no idea how to use it. I was supposed to learn, but the class I was to attend, the instructor bailed on us. I was there in the class. The instructor was not. Therefore, we did not get to learn.
Yeah.
But long story short, CAD design has saved us so much trouble with that haunt.
Yeah.
Because what we did is we made a mock-up of the garage in Google SketchUp.
Yep.
It's not perfect, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
And then we have models of panels. Mm-hmm. We have models of everything that we commonly use, and we're able to basically digitally do an erector set of it.
Right.
And one of the really cool things about SketchUp is that you can do a fly-through of it. Mm-hmm. So you can pretend like you're walking through the haunt and see what the customer experience is going to be.
Yeah.
But that has saved us so much time on design. We used to try graph paper.
Yeah. We
used to try crude drawings in dirt with sticks.
Yeah, because my language set and your language set don't always
don't ever match.
Don't ever match, yeah.
Yeah, we don't always get a good connection there.
Yeah.
But no, we have. But yeah, no, CAD has been a huge asset for us. Computer-aided drafting, it's great stuff. I recommend it. And Google SketchUp is, I think you can, no, it's not Google SketchUp anymore. It's owned by someone else. I forgot who owns it now. But you can get a free copy if you're, especially if like a home haunt and you're not using it for a business, you can get a free copy still.
Yeah.
It is super powerful and wonderful and easy to use. I mean, you can probably pick up the basic, even if you're not, the most astute with computers, you can get a handle on it probably in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Trimble's the ones who bought it, by the way.
Well, that's who developed it originally.
Yeah, and they bought it back.
Oh, okay.
They sold it to Google, and then they sold it back, and then they bought it back.
Yeah,
it's
and there's
weird.
Still free.
Yeah, there's a still free version.
Yeah.
It's basic, but it does work really, really well.
Yep.
And like I said, it's super easy to use. Because I'm the kind of guy that looks at AutoCAD and gets intimidated.
Yeah.
That did not intimidate me at all.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, we're wrapping off. You got your little bonus track, not in the show notes. See, this way you got to listen to the end, even after it goes off the rail. Anything else that you can think of that you wish you known when we started? I mean, there's lots. I know you can think of more, but
yeah. Well, I know that we've gotten a lot of questions about how to market and how to do a press release and how to get the press involved, and we've done episodes on that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the numbers are, but
yeah, we've done episodes on that.
We didn't really have that issue.
Yeah, we had a cheat code in that I had a degree in advertising.
Yeah,
and with a heavy underlayer of print journalism, so press releases, advertisements, promotion, all that stuff I had a pretty good handle on.
Yeah.
Before I ever was a haunter. That's like the one area I didn't have to learn a whole hell of a lot before jumping in.
Exactly.
Everything else was like a steep as fuck learning curve.
Yeah.
But that we were fine on. But no, if there's interest in more stuff on press releases, for example,
yeah,
let us know. You can let us know at Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook. You can find the show at hauntweekly.com and also at youtube.com/hauntweekly. That's the YouTube channel. All previous episodes are there for easy perusal. Also on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Find us, reach out to us, let us know if that's a topic that interests you, and let us know what topic does interest you. We're always looking for ideas, and you can make our Sunday a lot easier if you give us a topic before we go into it.
Well, yeah. Also, what were your biggest lessons that you learned over the years? What do you wish you had known starting out that you know now?
Yeah, what was the biggest thing that you didn't know that you wish you did?
Yep,
basically.
Exactly.
Just kind of what we did. Everyone's situation's different.
Exactly.
Well, on that, everyone, thank you very much for joining us for this past hour. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this has been Haunt Weekly, episode 186, 7 Things We Wish We Knew Before We Started Haunting. We will see you guys next time.